Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the live Q&A from LA every Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for joining me. I hope I'm coming in clear for you guys. Let's get this party started. Okay, so I'm back, and I hope I'm coming through loud and clear. Let me check sound to start this thing off. It looks like sound is good. I hope. Calgapo, Betty A, thanks for joining me. Grand Illusion from Idaho. Sarah and Mike, good to see you guys again. Mr. David is here. Good to see you too, Mr. David. Oh, my stream says good now. Thank goodness. Things kind of got away from me. Have been working on a new video most of the afternoon, and then ran upstairs to have some pizza. Thought that I was on time, but was a little late. So people are starting to stream in. Those bears. Jason Clement from Texas. Wow, howdy. I actually grew up in Texas, so I have the right to say howdy, although no one in Texas says howdy, really. And it's funny, I grew up in Texas, and I mentioned to some people that I was from Texas, and they asked me if they had cowboys and horses and tumbleweeds and stuff like that. I think people think of Texas like they think of Hollywood. It's like a cliche. But no, Texas is not like that at all. It's like it's actually got 4 different climates, right? We've got the plains, we've got the big thicket, and then we've got the mountains in the west, and little kind of arid, dry, desert type terrain. So big place, Texas, wonderful place. I am not in LA anymore, guys. I am now in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I'm thinking of moving the live stream back 1 hour notch. Probably next week I'll do it at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Right now it's 9 p.m. Eastern time, which works a little better for me. I'm not in the middle of dinner, but a bit late to start, because we'll be going till 10:30. So probably next week I'll take it back a notch, and probably change some of the graphics. It won't be live Q&A from LA. I'll have to think of something catchy for Grand Rapids, Michigan. I want to buy some crypto tonight. We'll get to that pretty quick off. There's the big story. Let's go over to that. If I can find it. Okay, here we go. Let's do on-screen demo. You guys can see me okay. I need to change my... Oh, see, I'm working on a video there. All right, I want to save that. All right, so let's do this so you guys can see my screen better. I'm in my 4K res. So let's go back down here to 1920. And that way you can see my whole screen. Right? Okay. All right. So I'll go through the big news, and then I'll give you a little update of where I'm at with everything, and why I was gone for the last 2 weeks. Let's get this up here. So the big news, and let's see if it's moved the market at all. Not really. Big news doesn't move the market anymore. Well, it's sort of big news. I guess you would call it big news. Let's see what we'd see. Oh, I've put it here, don't I? Yeah. Yeah. Bakkt has officially announced that they're going to be launching on September 23rd in the US. And that's big news. It really is, because the way that their futures are working is notifications. Yeah, here it is. the way that their futures are working is there have been Bitcoin futures. The Chicago Board of Trade is since 2017 has been selling Bitcoin futures, but those were always settled in cash. Bakkt, BAKT or BAKKT is going to be settling their futures contracts in real Bitcoin. So Bitcoin will be delivered at the end of the contract. So this is a big news for Bitcoin, and it's been around for a long time. So the interesting comment that I ran across, if I can find it, is this one, which I really like. Due to their delayed delays, I expect this delay to once again be delayed. Bakkt has been promising their launch since, God, I don't know, 2018 at some point, maybe even 2017. They just kept delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. So it's kind of one of those, I'll believe it when I see it. And whether it's going to move the market or if leading up to it, it's going to move the market, it just seems like at this point, Bitcoin is kind of ignoring Bakkt. They've just announced and delayed and announced and delayed. And, and it's been, the news has already been absorbed into the market, so we don't even know if it's going to have any effect at all. But in the long run, this is what you would call kind of a moment, right? A market moving or a progression of Bitcoin and its acceptance overall. So it is historical, and it is something that should be big news. Like back when Bakkt made announcements in the past, it was always, market moving in many ways and forms. So here we are again, but now, this time for sure, right? They're gonna actually launch their service, right? And so physically delivered futures have been the subject of a great deal of anticipation, with the company initially announcing its launch August 2018 before being subjected to repeated delays over compliance issues, and everyone was waiting for this. And so it's finally come. The announcement has been made, and so we'll see. It's going to be hopefully good. Grand Illusion has a free link for crypto if anybody wants it. I watch Dallas, so they all have, this is fake Rex, yeah. It's good to be back. BTC buying addiction. Be careful, stellar scam. Okay, so we decided to move to Michigan, and there was an upheaval in my living arrangements there in LA. I was the manager of my apartment building, which, the regular followers of the live stream know. And sometimes I was dealing with the tenants and stuff during the live stream. I had to drop things sometimes. And so I was living comfortably in a pretty nice neighborhood with a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, nice apartment, and was only paying half rent. And the owners, who were very nice, sweet people that had were taking good care of me, had not raised my rent in like 4 or 5 years. So things were going pretty good. And then they ended up selling the building to a new company that came in, and they were okay. They're nice. I mean, some of the people there were pretty nice, but overall, they were businessmen, and they have their own managers, right? They needed an on-site manager, but they were going to bring in their own guy. And they wanted me to kind of stay through the transition, but basically they were, they were going to transition the tenants out and raise rents. And, some of them were, they mentioned to me that if they really wanted to stay, they could, if they paid more rent. And of course, my rent would have been normal, because I wasn't going to be the manager anymore, and then it was going to go up. So we decided to find another place, and I'm from the Midwest originally, And we had several candidates of areas of the country where we wanted to live. And we chose Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's close to the coast of Lake Michigan, which is very nice, but there's not a lot out there. And Grand Rapids is a decent sized city. It's got a lot of the big city stuff, nice restaurants, and all that kind of cool stuff. So we did our research and we moved, and it's much, much cheaper to live here than it is LA. Not just rent, but food and gas. I mean, rent or gas in LA is over $4. Here it's like $2.50, $2.60, $2.70 a gallon. So financially, I mean, you just can't argue. But as we were moving, during the trip, I didn't do my live stream. We drove. We sent everything through the pod service, but we needed to get our cars here, so we drove. My wife and I followed each other. And so I didn't do the live stream the first week during the move. And then when we got here, it turns out the pod had arrived in Grand Rapids, but I hadn't scheduled my drop. So they're all backed up because it was the summer, the crazy time. So I had to wait for my pod. And then I also had to wait for my internet. So I wanted the fast internet and got that all squared away, and they couldn't get out here till this week. So I finally got all my equipment and all of my internet connection this week. So I didn't do the live stream on Friday of last week either. So, but I'm here now, and I've got a nice place. I got a nice setup. I've got a nice little studio area where I'm going to start doing some cool stuff. I've got a Canon camera that I'm going to be using for more hands-on type demos rather than just on-screen step-by-steps. So I hope you guys will watch and gain and benefit from the new content. Just as an example, today I was setting up my Alexa devices and my Hue bulbs, and it's a little bit lower end than, say, cryptocurrency and cryptography, but it's kind of an area where there's not a lot of guidance on the internet. Maybe there is some, but I've had a lot of experience with those devices, so I think there'll be an audience for that kind of stuff. So that's it. That's where we're at. So here I am. Be careful. Okay, so we got this BTC hoarder. I'm not really a BTC hoarder. Grand Rapids is near Fremont, right? I don't know. Let's see. Where is Fremont? I'm not sure where. Oh, Fremont. Yeah, Fremont, Indiana. I was in Fremont a while back when my parents were renting a cabin there. And yes, Fremont is up here. It's too small to even be on the map. Where the heck is Fremont? It's over here somewhere. Just under the border. So yeah, while my parents were renting that cabin and we were staying with them, we were making the 2.5 hour drive up to Grand Rapids to find ourselves a place, and we did. And so here we are. So Grand Rapids, Michigan is about 2.5 hours from Fremont, Indiana. And so that's my story. I thought that perhaps I would buy some crypto tonight. And so let's get started because there will be a little bit of a delay as we wait for the Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and buy some Bitcoin using the Cash app. Get this out of the way. All right, let's get this down. Well, we could keep the map of Michigan behind us as we work, right? What the heck? All right, so we're going to use our Cash app to buy some Bitcoin. So we're going to go to the Cash app, and we're going to, what does it want? Now you can deposit Bitcoin to your Cash app. Don't have any to deposit. Cash app is the most convenient way to instantly buy and sell Bitcoin. So yeah, when you have the Cash App all set up and you've got yourself the Bitcoin, you can send Bitcoin that you already own into the Cash App if you want. If say you want to sell it, or just store it there. I don't know. But I tend to want to store Bitcoin in my own wallet. So anyway, I'll dismiss this and we'll go to the normal area where you access Bitcoin, right? If we tap Bitcoin here, then we've got the buy and sell. So I'm going to buy, and I'm just going to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. And I don't have to load the card up before I do this. I used to always load the card up first, but we don't have to do that. So we'll hit buy, and the Face ID will confirm that it's me. And then it gives me the details, and it wants to know if I want to confirm it. So I'll hit confirm. And it just takes a minute, and there we go. We've got the Bitcoin. Now, I think that the Cash App is one of the cheapest, quickest ways to buy Bitcoin. They don't charge you a very high percentage at all. What's up, buddy?
You know where's my iPad?
I do not. You'll have to ask Mommy. It's upstairs somewhere, sweetheart. My little boy's looking for his iPad. They've been banned from the downstairs. You'll notice there I spent $100 and I got $98.73 worth of Bitcoin, at least at this moment in time. But some people say that the market price of Bitcoin on the Cash App runs a bit higher than it does on other exchanges. And I have tended to notice that a little bit on my own. So I guess if they're giving you a higher price for Bitcoin, then it is they're selling it at a premium, right? So, but still, I do like the Cash App. Now, we want to put it somewhere. What I want to do tonight is buy some ADA. And I'm doing that in honor of my friend Atten, who's in my Patreon group, who's a big believer in ADA. I've gone a little stale on ADA because the price action has been pretty depressing. ADA, I think, is pushing its all-time lows. But it's a good project, a solid code foundation. I believe in the project, so I'm going to buy some more ADA today. And it's one of those that is a little bit difficult to buy because you can't buy it on Coinbase. So anyway, that's our goal, right? So we're going to swing over to Binance. I've got the Binance app here. Right, I'm just going to launch the Binance app. I might have to log in. I haven't been logged into it in a while. We'll go down to, let's get this clutter out of the way so it's easier. I don't know if the sunflower or the map is more distracting, right? I'm going to tap funds down there in the bottom. And yes, I do have to log in. So you'll notice there that I've got this little passwords thing because I have a password manager installed on my phone. It's the same one I use on my computer, and they're synced up. It's called 1Password. So I can tap the passwords down there, and then 1Password will launch, and it will, for some reason it doesn't detect Binance very well, but I can just type it in, and there it is, and then I'll tap it, and it's going to autofill the password for me. And I can click done and log in, and that should log me into my Binance account, and we'll complete their little puzzle there. And I'm going to need my Google Authenticator. So we'll go over to that. We'll launch Google Authenticator. It's at the very top, 759334. I can just tap it, and you'll see down at the bottom it says copied. So I'll swing back over to Binance and just tap paste. And there, I'll hit done and submit, and then I should be logged into my Binance account, right? And now I'll go back over there to funds, which was what I was trying to do in the very beginning. I'm going to tap show all balances, and then we'll go down here to BTC, right? Because we just bought some BTC, and we need to fund our cryptocurrency account so that we can buy some ADA. Hoping that ADA is available. You might want to check ahead of time. So I'm going to check, and there it is, ADA, and I'm going to tap it just to see. I just want to make sure that deposit and withdrawal are enabled, because every now and then a cryptocurrency might be under maintenance, right? So it looks like it's fine. So yeah, I can do withdrawals. So we'll go down here to BTC, and in this case we'll do a deposit. And it's generating an address for us. This is the address of the Bitcoin wallet in my Binance account, right? My Binance account is unique, and I have Bitcoin. There are various wallets that are available in Binance, empty wallets or wallets that you have things stored in, and they generate their unique addresses. So that's my unique Bitcoin wallet address for my Binance account. So I'm just going to tap copy address there. So I've got that copied into my clipboard. All right. And then let's swing back over to the Cash App. And then I'm going to tap that little face icon up there. We'll go down to Bitcoin. And then we need to scroll down here. So if we scroll down, then we have some Bitcoin operations that, they don't show at the very beginning, right? If you scroll down, you can see there. I can deposit and withdraw Bitcoin. And then there's a Bitcoin address there that you can send to other people if they want to send you Bitcoin too. So it's pretty cool. So I'm going to tap withdrawal Bitcoin, and I'm going to withdraw all of it that I just bought. And so I slide that little slider all the way, and then I hit withdraw. And I'm not going to scan a QR code. I'm going to enter manual. I'm going to hit enter manually down at the bottom, and then I'll tap paste the address I just copied from Binance. That's my Binance Bitcoin wallet. And once to confirm, I'll tap paste again. We'll hit next. All right, so now it wants me to confirm that I'm going to send my BTC to this address. Now, if I want to, I can sort of swing over just a little, and is it going to show me? Yeah, I could swing back and forth a little bit just to look at those two addresses, right? They're pretty close. Actually, they're the same, right? We want to eyeball it and just make sure that we're sending it to the right address, right? So I'm going to hit confirm on that. And then it wants my PIN. It's crazy, but I will hide it from you, just, so you guys won't know my PIN in case somebody comes bashing through my door, wants my PIN. All right, so we've initiated the withdrawal. We'll hit done. And then we're good to go, right? So when we close this, we should have 0 Bitcoin. And then the Bitcoin should show up on our Binance account in a little bit, right? That's why I wanted to get this out of the way, because we might have to wait for a little while. Now, Binance did shortcut a little bit of their confirmations not too long ago to speed up the Bitcoin deposits and withdrawals and trades, I guess. I'm not sure. But they've streamlined the process so it's faster, right? It used to take, it depends on what kind of exchange you're sending crypto to. But generally, an exchange will want to do a full confirmation when you make a deposit before you start trading, because they want to confirm that that Bitcoin is there, right? If they just allow you to trade right away, you might somehow cancel it or try to double spend it, or whatever. That's the way Bitcoin works. But Binance has seen fit to speed up that process so that it appeals to users more, right? So we'll go to Binance, we'll go back here, and then we can go to history over at the top right there, and look at deposits, right? And you can see there, it hasn't shown up yet in deposits. It'll take a little bit. And then you'll see it in deposits, and then we can watch it sort of confirm. And it won't take us too long. Or we can just start talking about other stuff, and pretty soon you'll see a confirmation on my phone of the deposit, right? All right. So while we're waiting for that, I'm going to look at what you guys are talking to me about. I'm buying $100 worth of Bitcoin. Yeah, more than 50. Yeah, it just depends on whether I just got paid or not. That is a little high. I don't know if I'm not sure if I want to buy $100 worth of ADA, but I will. I'll buy $100 worth of ADA. I'll go for it. Ripple is on the rise. Okay, Ledger Manager is no more. Do you use Ledger Live now? Ledger Manager. Well, the Ledger Manager is in Live. That's kind of an odd statement. Let's check. Let's make sure that Ledger Manager is... Oh, I forgot. I need to... I knew I was going to forget to do that. I have to turn auto lock off, because when the phone auto locks, the black screen pops up. It sort of gets in the way. All right, so we'll do that. We'll put this away for now. Let's take a look at Ledger Live. All right. So the manager is right there. That's Ledger Manager. So Ledger Manager is not kaput. You may be talking about the old Ledger Chrome apps. I don't know. If you still wanted to use the Ledger Chrome apps, you could, I would think. You can still download them, but they're being depreciated. They're not going to be around much longer. There used to be a Ripple wallet that you can't download anymore. Depreciated. That means gone, right? So you can, it looks like you could still download the old Chrome app for Ledger Manager. So you can see, I still have it. It still works, sort of. It may not be compatible anymore, but just for giggles, let's go ahead. Gotta find my... oh, whatever did I do with my ledgers? Okay. They were just in the drawer. Let's connect the Ledger X and see if it still interfaces with the old Ledger Manager. I wouldn't really recommend this. I mean, it's better to use the Ledger Manager that's in Ledger Live. That's the way you add and subtract apps now. I don't know why that just like threw me for a loop when you said, oh, Ledger Manager is no more. And I was like, what? Ledger Manager is no more? It's like when you like watch TV and they announce that some celebrity has died and you were just like caught off guard. Oh, hey, there we go. Let's do that. Whoops. Binance success, right? Binance success of my deposit. That was very quick, actually. Very quick. So they're just telling me that the deposit has been successful and that the Bitcoin is in there now. So let's finish entering my PIN here. Now, actually I've got them both open, so that might not be the best thing to do. Let's close this one. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be functioning. Yeah, so maybe it is. It's not working anymore, right? So if we want to use the Ledger Manager of old, the same functionality exists within Ledger Live. It's just in that Manager sidebar, right? It's the same functionality. Right, so there we go. Oops. I might have flubbed that up. No, I didn't. Okay. So if I go into Manager, I should be on the dashboard of my device, which means like the home screen. Right after you put in your PIN, you're usually on the home screen. Okay. Whoops. Let's take that part off here. Sorry about that, gang. All right, so it's asking me to allow Ledger Manager, right? So I'm going to hit both buttons. All right, and then we go back here, and it just loaded up Manager. So there's your Ledger Manager right there. It's just a functionality built into Ledger Live over on the sidebar, right? So before we get too far into that, we're really not going to need it because I already have the Ada app on this device, but I'll walk you guys through that. Let's go back over here. And let's slide back over to the Binance app, and then we'll go over here. And you can see that, where'd it go? Oh, it should be at the top now, shouldn't it? Okay, if I hide small balances, you can see that the Bitcoin is now available, right? And now that the Bitcoin is now available for spending or trading, or I could even transfer it somewhere else, right? But I promised that we're going to buy some ADA tonight. I don't even know what the price of ADA is. I know it should be pretty low, unless it's, you know, jumped up 2,000% since this morning. So we'll go over to ADA, and then see there's the ADA BTC pair. I can go ahead and do that. I could buy BNB first, and then trade BNB for ADA. But I'll just keep it simple, right? I'm just going to do ADA for BTC. I think you actually save some money on trade when you use BNB instead of just, they give you 50% off their trading fees or their transfer fees or whatever it is. But I'll just keep it simple. Let's go to ADA BTC, and I'm going to change it to market because I'm impatient. Limit orders not always guaranteed to execute. And then I'm going to hit 100%, and I'm going to hit buy. Order failed, insufficient balance. All right, so maybe the BNB might have been better. Let's try it one more time. Nope, it's not going to let me do it. All right, so I'll hit 100%, and then we'll take some down. And then it succeeded. Succeed. That's not really correct English, I think. I don't know, maybe success with an exclamation point would have been okay, or you succeeded, you know, but just the word succeed, I don't know, you know, lost in translation, right? All of us native English speakers are so particular about the way people use our language, right? All right, so now we're okay, right? We've got our funds. And we should have a boatload of ADA there, right? So now that we've got the ADA in Binance, we want to withdraw it into our own wallet, right? So how do we do that? All right, if we're going to withdraw into our own wallet, the safest place would be our Ledger Nano S or X, because the keys are safely stored on the device, right? So in order to create an ADA wallet on your Ledger Nano X or Ledger Nano S, you need to go into the manager over here and then find ADA or Cardano, there it is, and just hit the install button, right? And what's going to happen is it's going to install on the device. Now, in my case, it's already there. It's probably going to say something like it's already there. Oh, I guess it wasn't on here. I thought it was. That's kind of weird. All right. Maybe, oh God, maybe what it did was delete the old one and created the new one, which would be great, because it was hard before. If you didn't have the latest version of every app, sometimes things got wonky. All right. I'll try to explain that. So sometimes, let's say you delete your Litecoin app, and then you try to install it again. And then it would say something like you have to have the latest version of the Bitcoin app and the Ethereum app in order for, or they would say you need Bitcoin and Ethereum in order for the Litecoin app. What they meant was you need the latest version of the Bitcoin and Ethereum app. So what you would end up usually having to do on a Ledger Nano S, even the X, is delete all of your apps and start over again so that they would all be the latest version. So I'm wondering the way that worked just now, it acted like it deleted the old one and reinstalled the new one on top, because it used to just tell you it was already there, right? It would say it failed because the app was already on there. In tonight's case, it went through the install and said it had succeeded. So I'll do a little research and find out, because that was sorely needed, right? An easy way to just make sure you have the latest version of the app, right? We're just talking about the app on this, right? So learn more. I'm not going to learn more right now. So now we know that I have the ADA app on my device. Now, let's go over to accounts and create an ADA account. Why don't we? Oh boy, I'm so happy. I'm going to create an ADA account on my Ledger Nano device. I just installed the app. Why shouldn't I be able to create an account? Well, it's not that simple, right? It's got all these ERC20 tokens. This is crazy. They don't need to be there. And you can't even search. So this is a little, and this is because I'm using the experimental version that supports all these ERC20 tokens. So this is kind of crazy. Maybe I can type. Oh, yes, I can search. Cool. But there is no crypto asset ADA. Oh, they've added this search feature. You weren't able to do that before. Let's try Cardano. Okay, so Cardano is not on there. All right, so I knew that it wasn't there. I was just pulling your collective legs. The problem is that not every cryptocurrency that has an app has an account counterpart, right? And a lot of people really get mad about this. I get a lot of comments on my YouTube channel. Why can't I see my ADA in Ledger Live? Or why can't I see my Stellar in Ledger Live? Or why can't I see my Tron in Ledger Live? Well, it's complicated and it's tricky to store those types of cryptocurrencies on a Ledger Nano device. But the upshot is, and this is the most important part, you're storing the private key for that cryptocurrency on this device, right? It is the most secure way to protect your private key. Now, it might be a little more complicated than just Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin on a Ledger Nano S. Those are easy, right? You can just create the account and look at it. But some of these cryptocurrencies require third-party wallets. I know it's a drag, but you're still getting the benefit of storing the private key on the device. And that's the important part. I know it's a little tricky, right? But ADA is not that tricky at all, really. All I have to do is go to a website called ADA Lite, and I'm going to do that right now. Now, the ADA Lite website, there's a lot of confusion over how the ADA Lite website works, or the Yori wallet, which I'm not a big fan of, this Yorori, whatever it's called. I like the ADA Lite website. It's a little more flexible. All right, so we can go to ADA Lite. Now, a lot of people, they get confused. They're like, is my cryptocurrency on this website? Because that's not secure. I don't want my ADA on a website where everybody can see it. Well, it's not on this website. This website is simply an interface in order to allow you to view your balance, right? And if you want to be private, then you shouldn't be using cryptocurrencies at all, unless you're into the privacy coins like Monero and Dash and all the other privacy coins. Every other coin is public anyway. So if you're worried about somebody seeing your balance, they just have to, they can go on the blockchain explorer and look at your transactions. So it's never really private. They would have to know your public address and that sort of thing, but there are ways. So don't get all wrapped up in the fact that you're using a website to view your balance, because you're viewing the balance on here, and you're the only person with this device. So no one else is going to be able to pull up this website and move your ADA around. You've got to have the device. The private key is stored on this device. Sorry, I'm being a lecturer again. Let's continue on to ADA Lite. How do we want to access our Cardano wallet? Well, I could use a key file or a mnemonic, that kind of thing. Not very secure, right? I want to do the recommended way. I'm going to use a hardware wallet. So I'll click that, and then it gives me some choices here. I could use a Trezor if I wanted to, and I can unlock with Ledger. Now remember, I am not creating a wallet here. The wallet was already created when I added that Cardano app. And I should preface this with there was some Cardano in there already. So there will already be a balance, right? So, but normally when you add the ADA app and then launch this third-party wallet interface and view your balance, it should be 0. All right, but I'm going to go ahead, unlock with Ledger. Now, I need to be in the ADA app for this to work right. Right, so let's go over to the ADA app. Let's see here. Where's the ADA app? There it is. And now I'm going to hit both buttons. And there it is. All right, now it's saying export public key. This is another thing that people get confused about. It wants me to press both buttons. There's no little arrow on either side. The interface is a little different than it is on some of the others. So it wants me to hit both buttons. Now it wants me to confirm the export of the public key. That just means that I'll be able to view the public part of this wallet in this website. There's no security risk by doing that, right? It's just a little bit of a privacy thing, but it's not. Okay, so I'm going to hit both. Oh, this time I need to hit the little button. Or no, I guess I hit both. I don't know. Whatever. Now it wants... we do more? No. We're fine. We're fine. We got everything now. Okay, we went through all that, and lo and behold, now we have access to the ADA wallet. Now, the interesting thing about how the ledger works is, let's say that for some reason I had deleted my ADA app, and the ADA app was gone. Now, when that happens, it deletes the private key off the device, right? And then your crypto is lost forever. No, it's not, because of the way the ledger works. Whenever you re-add the app, and we did that in Ledger Manager, whenever you re-add the app, the unique private key for the ledger, the master private key, will generate a wallet. And it's deterministic, which means that it will always generate the same wallet every time you tell it to generate a new wallet from scratch. You may generate more than one, right? But in the case of this cryptocurrency, I've only asked it to generate one wallet, the first wallet, right? From nothing, right? So it always regenerates that same ADA private key and public key pair. And so boom, mathematics protects it, right? When I delete the app, the private key is gone. When I add the app, it regenerates the same private key every time. It's just the way the math and the cryptography work. It's pretty cool. So there was a little bit of ADA on there already, right? Let's add that other ADA that we had in Binance. Now, I need this ADA address, right? And so here's a public address. I'm going to copy it. Now, how am I going to get it into Binance, right? I was using the Binance app on my phone. Now, I could just mail myself this address. What's up, buddy? Okay, hang on. Daddy knows the password. Whoops. Come on. Why? Oh, seriously. All right. Oh, it's upside. No wonder. Jeez. All right. I'm holding it. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. He walks up and hands me this iPad, waiting for my password, for the password in many instances, and I never know if it's like a free app or if it's going to charge me like $25. All right. Where were we? All right, so I've copied the address. It's in my clipboard. I could mail it to myself and check it from the phone, or I could simply just log into my Binance account from my computer to make things a little easier. I just cut and paste in. So, but why not? Why don't we stick with the phone thing, right? So I'll just go to I'm using Chrome here, but that's okay. Okay, so let's do this. I'm just going to mail that address to myself. And of course, I'm going to use my password manager again. Oops, didn't like that one, did it? Here's another nice thing about this password manager. It's asleep, right? But it's got this little button that allows me to use my Windows Hello to log back into it without having to re-enter my master password, right? I just scan my little fingerprint reader there. So I'm going to click that. We're going to log in, and once my two-factor authentication, which is another crazy thing, right? That's on my phone. In fact, somebody sued Apple because of this. They're like, you're wasting my time with your two-factor authentication that I did not ask for. I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, sue them, baby. All right, so we're gonna just go in and we're gonna email that address to ourselves, right? It's pretty straightforward, right? Rex from Rex to Rex, address that I probably misspelled. Paste that in there, and we'll send it. Right? Now I'm sending this so that I can check it on my phone, right? Now let's go over to the phone and complete this. All right, so I'm going to go to my ADA, and I'm going to do a withdrawal, and I'm going to withdraw all of it. But let's paste that address in there. Well, we're going to have to get it from our email. We're not quite there yet, are we? Okay, there it is. All right, so let's do that. There we go. I'm going to copy that address into my clipboard. I just emailed it to myself. And now I'm going to tap paste it into here. So there we go. Nice ADA address. And I'm going to hit max up here. There's no memo field or anything on ADA. So there we go. And then I'm going to tap withdraw, and it's going to ask me for my Google Authenticator code. So let's go back over and we'll tap and copy that from Google Authenticator. We'll go back over here and we'll tap paste. All right, and it's probably going to complain that no. Sometimes it'll complain if you try to withdraw within 2 minutes of logging in. I forgot that I'd been logged in for a while, so it didn't give me that. But sometimes if you run over to Binance, log in, and then try to withdraw real quick, it won't let you. It'll say, oh, you have to be logged in for 2 minutes at least before you can withdraw. So the email confirmation came in. Asking me to confirm the withdrawal. So I'll tap confirm withdrawal. I'll open Chrome, and it should allow me to do that. Good. Withdrawal request successful. All right. So now we can kind of skate back over to the Binance app. And we should have 0 ADA, right? It's gone, baby. It's gone. All right. So we withdrew the ADA. Okay. Now let's go back to where we were doing. I guess we were in. We were using Chrome here, and so now we just kind of hang out for a few minutes and wait for that balance to refresh. We can hit refresh balance, I guess. See what happens there. It'll take it a couple of minutes. All right, and then I'll have a bunch of ADA, not in ADA Lite. Right? It's not in this website. The website is merely an interface to my hardware device, right? You can use ADA Lite different ways. You could have put in a 24-word recovery phrase to access the wallet, but that's not very secure. You could also use like a key store file on your computer, but that's not that secure either. Yeah. So let me see what you guys are talking. So we bought some ADA, right? So let me just go over quickly what I did. We bought the Bitcoin with the Cash App. We deposited the Bitcoin into our Binance account to fund our cryptocurrency exchange, right? We needed to fund our purchase. And so I just did a straight ADA trade for Bitcoin. I just went to the ADA BTC trading pair and I did a market order. I did 100% of my ADA minus a few and bought a bunch of ADA. And then after I did that, I went over to my Ledger Nano S. I made sure that I had the ADA app on there. I went to this ADA Lite website and generated an address. The private public key pairs can be accessed through this website. I took that address, my ADA address, I emailed it to myself so that I could have access to it on my phone, because trying to type it in by hand is problematic, tedious, error prone. And then after that, I went to withdraw my ADA from Binance using that address and just maxed it out. Oh, let's hope it'll be there soon. It was $100 worth, right? So let's see. What do you guys? All right. Still bullish on Litecoin. D is so funny. Oh, D. Can I speak in a British accent for the rest of the... That's pretty good. Have you... okay. So, Sarah and Mike, I have not heard of Thorcoin, Thurocoin. I apologize. I don't really like to talk about coins that much on this thing. There's always some new coin out that, but I don't know about it, to be honest. Every buy-sell is considered a taxable event according to the IRS. Does that mean you must complete a 1099-B transaction report on your tax return? There is a form that I completed when I did my taxes. And come on, show up. There it is. All right. So there's the ADA now. And we can look at the transaction here. This ADA just came in from Binance. Now, the ADA is now safely stored not really in the device. The device is safely storing the private key for this ADA address, right? The ADA is actually on the ADA blockchain. So it's out there on the blockchain, but I have access to it because I control the private key, right? No, the cryptography protects that ADA. It's not completely inconceivable, but it is virtually inconceivable that someone else will just happen to generate that private key, unless the mathematics behind cryptography gets broken by quantum computing, which is several years in the future, hopefully a few decades into the future. Cryptography protects my ADA, even though it is on the public ADA blockchain, viewable by anyone, really. They can be just watching the blockchain and see transactions coming through. They may not know it's me. They might be able to find out it's me if they're the NSA or somebody of that nature. But no one else has that private key. Even the NSA. I don't know that the NSA has the computing power to crack blockchain. If they do, they're not saying it. The way they carry on about wanting access and wanting backdoors built into everything seems to me that they don't, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't, have their panties in a bunch over cryptography, right? If they had cryptography broken, they probably would just be kind of like, oh yeah, go ahead, encrypt, go ahead, encrypt. We don't care, encrypt, right? But they obviously haven't broken it because they keep, saying, oh, encryption is bad. You shouldn't, terrorists use encryption and we should be able to see everything you do, damn it. Now I'm really ranting, right? All right, so we did it. It's done. So let me just take a look at what people... The tax thing, you can use... I don't want to use any of them. that show my stuff. But there's a service called Cointracker.com, which will, you put in your wallets, you put in your exchanges, and then it tracks all of your transactions, which is pretty cool just on the face of it, right? So that, oh, wow, I forgot when I bought that Bitcoin last year, and you can just find it in Cointracker.com. But Cointracker.com will actually generate a tax form for you based on all of the transactions that have occurred over a tax year. So you don't really have to worry about, I just created a taxable event there by trading the Bitcoin for ADA. But it goes into Cointracker.com, and then Cointracker.com, for a fee, will generate a tax form for you. And it's, what do they call that? Capital gains form, whatever. I don't know if it's the 1099-B transaction report. It might be. I don't quite remember. I do remember Cointracker generated the form for me. I printed it out and I took it to my tax accountant. And he punched it into his software and boom, everything was declared. So if you're worried about taxable transaction, then I suggest a service similar to that. I don't know that Cointracker. I know Cointracker is not the only one, but there are others out there. But if you're a trader, if you're a day trader and you're trading every day and you've got hundreds, thousands of transactions, then it's going to cost you more to have that tax form generated. They have different tiers based on how often you buy and sell. Mine was second tier. It was higher than 1,000, but it was less than 5,000. Whatever it was, or higher than 100 and less than 1,000. I don't remember. So we'll see. The IRS is trying to put the scare into everybody. About their cryptocurrency gains. I don't think they're that worried about their losses, right? I think they're more worried about their gains because people might, owe the IRS money on those wealthy gains. They're just, I think, they're using this public, they sent out all these letters and it's a big public thing. They're just trying to sort of, shake the bushes and scare people into doing the right thing, I guess. Why not? Why hide when, it's not really worth it to try to circumvent the IRS. Very smart people have been trying it for a long time. They have an army of accountants. You're better off just doing the right thing and paying the taxes on your gains, right? It's not going to kill you. Okay. XRP is bullish news too. XRP shorts are up. That could give it a pop, short to medium. I'm hopeful about XRP, but not sure how high it can get when there's such high supply. Sarah and Mike make a good point. If you look at coinmarket.cap, you can see not only the price of a particular coin, but you can see its circulating supply. And when you've got a circulating supply of 42 billion, let me see, there's thousands, there's millions, there's billions, right? 42 billion. Bitcoin only has 17 million circulating supply with a 21 million cap. Although, I don't know, this may not be an accurate number per se, because I've heard a lot of Bitcoin over the years has been lost by people that lost their private key or their password or whatever. So I don't remember exactly what the estimate is, but that figure, that circulating supply figure might be lower than 17. That seems a bit high to me. But yeah, you can see in many different cryptocurrencies, even Tether. I think Tether's in the trillions. I think it's 4 trillion there. But then you can see there's some other ones. Stellar is pretty high. Cardano is fairly high, 25 billion. 1,000, there's hundreds, thousands, millions, billions. So yeah, Oh, look, Cardano's up 0.68%. I think we just made some money, right? Or was that last? That's a 24-hour figure, right? So let's see. Let's refresh. So Bitcoin is still over 10,000, which is good. It briefly dipped below 10,000 the day yesterday or the day before yesterday, but it's been doing pretty well, holding above 10. Right? I was going to say this. April and May, I was counting on Bitcoin hitting 40,000. Right? And then April, May, in late May, early June, I was kind of like, well, hopefully it'll at least hit 20, right? It'll at least like hit its all-time high. And then June, and then into July, it was kind of like, geez, I wish it would, if it could just hit 15, I'd be happy. I just want to see it hit 15. It just couldn't seem to hit 15 there in July. And then here we are in August, and I'm kind of like, if it would just hit 12, I'd be happy. I'm just like, please, But, this is short-term stuff. I'll have to point out, too, up in the corner of the video, which corner? I don't know. That corner, right? Up in that corner of the video are some of my cards. If you hover over the eye, you'll see there. And Crypto Lark is one of them. Crypto Bitcoin Chris is another who's more into trading. If you guys are into trades and you want to know more about trading, I would definitely check out Crypto Bitcoin Chris. I think it's different now. I think he changed the name of the channel. Crypto Revolution now. But Crypto Bitcoin, the Crypto Lark, has a lot of good analysis of Bitcoin, historic in general, and he talks about the current news, but he mentions often that this day-to-day stuff is kind of just a blip on the radar compared to the long-term prospects of Bitcoin. Right. A couple of years from now, we'll kind of be laughing at the fact that we were hoping it was going to go up 1,000 or down 1,000 or whatever. Right. If you believe in Bitcoin, some of you may not. Some of you may think Bitcoin is a scam, a sham, a tulip bulb, rat poison squared, whatever you think Bitcoin is or was or might be. But most people, I'm assuming, that are interested in this live stream, that want to learn more about how it works and how to use it, are probably believers in Bitcoin. I am. All right. Let's see now. What's that? What else is going on? Do you have the show that elaborate Bitcoin Cash on Ledger Nano S? Do you have to show that elaborate Bitcoin Cash? Ledger Nano. Thanks for the tax questions. Thought Coinbase or Cash Apps generated those forms. Actually, I think you can have, there are some forms you can generate on Coinbase, I know. I'm not sure. They may have better. It used to be that you could just, you were able to generate a transaction history on Coinbase in an Excel format, which was really wonky because it was exported as a CV, comma separated value, CSV file, which is, I mean, you pull it up in Excel and it looks like crap. It's not very streamlined. They may have improved that. It may be a nicer looking form now, and they may even have some interface with, taxable stuff. But that's only for your Coinbase transactions. You might be trading on multiple cryptocurrency exchanges. You might need sort of a, an over, something that encompasses all of your Bitcoin transaction. Because the IRS wants to know everything. They don't want to just know your cryptocurrency exchanges. If you're storing Bitcoin in your own wallet, then they want to know the history of your wallet too. They want to know it all, and it's not that hard in Cointracker. You just give it the public address of all your wallets, and it'll tell you. So if all you do is buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, then and store it on Coinbase, then their forms are probably going to be fine for you if they do like the tax forms. I'll have to look into that. I didn't know that Coinbase did that. What about Litecoin? There was a lot of hype over the price possibly taking a moonshot after having. Since then, the price has tumbled. What's the deal? I think the thing with Litecoin is it has its own factors, right? The halving was a big one, right? The Litecoin halving. The Litecoin halving, call it, has to do with the mining reward for the miners. That was a story a few months back when there was an alt, I would call it an alt spring. There was an alt season earlier this year where the altcoins really made some big headway for a while there, and Litecoin was on fire. I'm still dispatching. Okay, thank you. Period. So Litecoin was kind of on fire, and it's one of those kind of things where, let's say, somebody finds out that there's some new soft drink out there or whatever, and then Coke. There's a rumor that Coke might buy it, right? And so everybody's going to jump on that small cola company in anticipation of the merger, right, or the acquisition. And then, so the price of that lower, and then after the acquisition, the price drops, right? Because in general, markets, and especially the stock market, tend to what they call trade on the news. And then when the actual event occurs, people sell off, right? There's a phrase for it. I don't know. It's buy the rumor, sell the something. I don't know. But a lot of times that's how it works. The anticipation is what drives the price, and then when the actual event occurs, the price drops or the price stabilizes. Right? And then you also have to remember too that Litecoin is an altcoin, and the altcoins have been getting battered lately for whatever reason. And that's just kind of an overall. It's in that group of coins that are just getting hammered. I don't know why the altcoins have just been getting decimated. It's really depressing. And I don't know if it's because there's more interest in Bitcoin or people are starting to give up on altcoins thinking that, Bitcoin. It just seems right now that, when Bitcoin became very prominent in 2017, everybody was jumping on the bandwagon and they figured, Bitcoin is too expensive. Maybe I'll choose one of these altcoins and it'll go to the moon like Bitcoin. But now people have now the sentiment is turning to where people think the institutions are coming in. They only seem to be interested in Bitcoin. So people are sort of giving up on the altcoins and buying Bitcoin, right? In anticipation of Bitcoin really making this strong move. And we saw it a couple of months back when Bitcoin made its run up to around 13.8. Right about that time. It was anyone that was holding any Bitcoin at all and altcoins could see that, oh my God, Bitcoin, is really worth a lot more now. It's doing much better than my altcoins. And I think that was probably the start of the altcoin hammering. People started thinking, I better get into Bitcoin. So they were selling their altcoins to buy Bitcoin at a profit, right? But that started a downward spiral where, people started selling their altcoins, so the price started going down. And then other people that were holding altcoins started jumping out because they were starting to lose money and they wanted to hold in their profits. So the altcoins pretty much got slammed. And Bitcoin has kind of been stable, and it might make that run up to its all-time high this year. Maybe next year, maybe the year after. We don't know. Like we said, it's just a blip on the radar. And when that happens, I think that the altcoins will eventually recover. One of the reasons would be the opposite of that, right? Let's say Bitcoin hits 20, or Bitcoin, God forbid, or whatever, it hits 40, right? At that point, all the people that were dumping all of their altcoins for Bitcoin might think to themselves, now that I've tripled my money or whatever in Bitcoin, I should sell a little Bitcoin and buy back some of those cheap altcoins, and we'll see the altcoins recover. Or there may be new money coming in to Bitcoin, driving up the price, and some of that new money might go into altcoins. We don't know, right? So because we've got Coinbase out there, and when you go on Coinbase to buy Bitcoin, if someone says, "How do I buy Bitcoin?" and Uncle Tom said, Uncle Tom is a bad example, but Uncle John says, "Hey, go on Coinbase. It's real easy. Set up an account, and you can use your debit card or your bank account and buy Bitcoin." They run on Coinbase and they go, "Hey, what are all these other coins on Coinbase?" Right? So when people start getting more into Bitcoin, they'll see that there are altcoins out there too, right? And then Binance has announced that they should be getting their US-based site up and running soon. So people will be jumping onto Binance too, and Binance is going to be selling 30 different coins. So the altcoins will eventually. So I guess that's my long explanation of what's up with Litecoin, right? One question okay. So Jason Clement asked me about Litecoin. Hi, when will Binance no longer be available to users in the US? Can I leave my coins on there until Binance US opens? What I've heard, and I'm pretty sure this is accurate, is September 12th is when you will no longer be able to buy Bitcoin on Binance if you are a US IP. If your IP is coming from the US. Now, if you have a Binance account, I've heard that they will allow you to withdraw. So I think there was like this big scare where everyone was thinking, I got to get my coins off Binance. But I don't think that would be very good PR for Binance to just, because not everybody, not everybody's that savvy. Not everybody is worried about their cryptocurrency. They got life going on. They might be on vacation. They might be doing other stuff, and they may not always be checking their Binance account. So for Binance to say, okay, at September 12th, if you have any coins on Binance, they're going to be gone forever. That would be very bad PR for them. Even if it was just one guy who, he goes, hey, I was trapped in a cave and I just got back in the country and I had $10,000 worth of Bitcoin and I can't get it because I live in the US. That would be bad PR. So I think they're gonna allow you to withdraw your coins. You just can't fund anymore. You can't make deposits or trades, right? But you can still withdraw. Now, and that's September 12th. That's what I've heard. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. And then for Binance US, they say in the next couple of months. So it looks like the timing should be pretty close, right? Binance US will be available, and I'm sure that even if it's after September 12th, you'll be able to withdraw your coins from Binance proper, Binance International or whatever they decide they're going to call it, to Binance US. They'll probably just keep it as Binance, and then the new one will be Binance US. I think that's how they're going to keep them separate. And then you can just, let's say you got, $10,000 worth of Bitcoin in your Binance account. When Binance US opens up, you can just withdraw that into your Binance US account. You'll set up a Binance US account. And I'm certain when you set up your Binance US account, you'll have to go through the full KYC. Send them a picture of your ID and, verify your identity and all that good stuff. That's just the way the crypto world is working now. But, better that than no crypto at all, right? Things change, right? It's not the Wild West anymore like it used to be. I use a VPN. I don't use it that often because a lot of the reason why we use the internet is convenience. And so when I go to Google and do a search, I want it to give me meaningful results based on, it's a lot of times based on my location, right? If I do a search for donuts, I don't want a donut shop in France, right? I want a donut shop down the street. So if I use a VPN and it looks like my IP is in Denmark, when I do a Google search, it's going to give me Denmark-based results, right? Even, when I lived in Korea, I really had a big problem. I was a teacher there for a while back in the late 2007, 8, 9, 10. When I would do Google searches, I was getting all these Korean results. I really, it's frustrating. You want to get English language results because I speak English, and I want them to be local. So I don't use my VPN unless I feel like, I need it for whatever reason. And I'm not trying to hide anything. But when you use I could use a VPN with a sort of close server so that my searches would be sort of local. But I don't, I would prefer to see my own stuff and my own local things when I do searches. And I want to check my email and use Amazon, buy things on Amazon and all that stuff. And when you're using a VPN, your Amazon account is going to freak out and go, oh, you're using a different IP address, and your Coinbase account is going to say, oh, you're using a different IP address, and it's just kind of a hassle. So, but I use NordVPN, Nord. Woo. Oh, Scott's here. Hey, I'm back. Yes, nice to see you, Scott. Binance PR, what about my KYC? I sure hope Binance USA is going to support people in Hawaii. I know. So yeah, I don't know when you popped in, Scott, but we were talking about Binance blocking US users by September 12th, but still allowing withdrawals. No deposits, no trading, but withdrawals allowed. And then the Binance US should be here pretty soon. Right around that time frame. So most likely, there might be a gap of a week or two where you won't be able to trade on Binance. But then Binance US will be there, and you can withdraw all your coins from Binance to Binance US and be compliant. That is, of course, unless you have one of those non-supported coins. Binance US coins. Right. So there's just what you want to do is you want to check out the 30 cryptocurrencies that will be supported on the Binance US site. Right. There's all their tokens. And if you have anything besides those, then you you won't be able to. You'll still be able to withdraw them from Binance, right? So you're not going to lose them, I don't think. I think the current guidance now is that they're going to be allowing withdrawals, but you won't be able to move them to Binance US. And if they're really obscure, you may have trouble finding a place where you can trade them or store them. But my advice is, if you have any coin, and a lot of them are ERC20 tokens, you can put them just about anywhere. You can put them on a Ledger easily in the Ethereum wallet address. So if you've got a bunch of obscure ERC20 tokens that you bought in 2017, then you can keep them on Binance. They're not going anywhere, but you can't sell them on the Binance. You won't be able to liquidate them on Binance. So you have to make a choice before September 12th. Do I want to store them in my own wallet, hoping that I'll be able to sell them somewhere down the road, or spend them down the road? Or do I just want to liquidate what I got out of Binance for something that's supported? You could choose to just liquidate everything you have on Binance for Bitcoin. And then when Binance US opens, you can transfer the Bitcoin into Binance US and use it to buy any one of these. And if you've got BAT or BNB or NEO on Binance proper, you can just wait and move it into Binance US. You can do it that way too. Just keep in mind, if it's not one of these 30 and you've got it on, what the heck was that? That was weird. I waved my hand. I don't know. It just took me back to the top, I guess. If you've got a coin that's not supported on Binance US on Binance, figure out where you're going to put it. You might be able to put it on a different exchange that supports it in the US and allows you to trade it, but maybe not. Sooner or later, maybe these regulations will kind of close in around us. So be cognizant of your coins. Don't make the mistake of letting, some coin that becomes worthless basically if you can't sell it or liquidate it or spend it. Now, you might, if it's really, really obscure, there's probably not a huge chance of it, making a comeback at some point. So you might want to just consider liquidating it. It's up to you. Do your research, guys. Yay. I'm assuming, like when you need to re-enable or disable 2FA on Binance, they take you through that process of verification. Or when you want to go to that higher tier on Binance, you have to send them a selfie and a scan of your ID and all that stuff, They'll probably have that. That'll just be like mandatory to open a Binance US account. Got to be. Binance just removed U.S. resident ban. Plans to launch a U.S. launch in a month or two. Removed. Yes, removed. There is no longer a ban on use. Well, there's Binance. I was just using Binance earlier. I don't think they ever blocked me. But Binance DEX. Now that's different. Binance DEX. That will not be available at all if you go to the Binance DEX website, right? So Binance DEX is a different story. Whoops. Binance. Oops. Maybe I could spell Binance DEX. Yeah, there it is. Binance DEX. Right. That is their decentralized exchange, right? And they're going to tell you, please note that by 12 September, trading and accessing to the wallet interface through Binance.org will no longer be available to users with IP address from the countries listed above. Now, they don't say anything here about people that may have wallets based on some of these. Like a lot of these BNB, I forget what they call them, BEP2s, I think, is a Binance-based coin on the Binance, the BNB blockchain, right? I don't think very many of these coins will be supported at all. Although it's interesting if you know that a BNB coin will be available on the Binance US site. So it's not inconceivable that some Binance-based tokens might eventually show up on the Binance US if they get regulatory approval, right? Like, for example, I don't know, like eBoost, right? eBoost is, a lot of these Binance-based coins were ERC20 tokens, and they were, fairly successful coins in their own right, and then they decided to join the Binance blockchain and create a coin that lives on the Binance blockchain. And now I think some of them have both, right? Like eBoost might be one of them, where there's an ERC version, the ERC20 version of it, and a Binance BEP2 version of it. So I don't know. So some of these coins might eventually be available on Binance US. But if you've got coins in Binance DEX, you probably just want to get them out, or kind of hope that you'll still be able to access it using a VPN. But there are ways that websites can detect that you are using a VPN, and they can sort of screen that out, right? So even if you think that you might be able to trick it into thinking you're in the Denmark IP, there's technology that can prevent that at some point. So you might not want to hang all of your hopes on that, right? If you've got like a lot of money tied up in Binance DEX. Binance DEX is not their, they're centralized. This is a decentralized exchange. What is the maximum fee for selling on Coinbase? I send coins to CBP to sell, and it makes you send to regular Coinbase to sell. Oh, you were trying to sell some coins on Coinbase Pro, and then it told you had to go to Coinbase proper to sell. I've never heard of that. And I don't know that there even is a max fee. I think it's pretty much based on the amount that you're selling. And it can get high on Coinbase. My understanding was that Coinbase Pro absorbed trading fees and transfer fees. They may not do that completely anymore. I think they changed their policies. But I never heard of like a cap, or I've never heard of them saying you can't sell this coin on Coinbase Pro. If you want to sell it, you have to transfer to Coinbase and then sell it. That's interesting. I'll look into that, Mitchell. I've never heard of that. And you were trying to sell what kind of coins were they? Are you talking about Bitcoin or some other coin? I sent coins. Okay, so you transferred coins into Coinbase Pro from somewhere, I'm assuming. And then you tried to sell them for US dollars, and Coinbase Pro said no, you have to transfer them from Coinbase Pro to Coinbase, and then you can sell them. Interesting. VForge wallet is Ledger supported. Yes, VForge. We were talking about third-party wallets earlier. Certain coins, you can store the private key on your Ledger, but you still have to use a third-party wallet. And I believe for the VE coin, I think it's a VE coin, whatever that coin is, it's a VForge wallet. Oh, so it's Bitcoin. That's weird. So I guess we're assuming that it was too much Bitcoin, right? Whatever it was, like it was 10 Bitcoins or whatever, you transferred into Coinbase Pro, you tried to sell it. Did you try selling less than the amount that you wanted to? Did you try selling like 0.005 of that Bitcoin on Coinbase Pro? And then it said, and that was fine. And then when you tried to sell like 5 Bitcoin, it said no. So maybe it was the amount of the transaction itself that. But that seems weird too, because Coinbase Pro is supposed to be the pro interface, right? Where the pros come. Interesting problem, Mitchell. I'll check into that for you. It was 0.3. Well, that's weird. That's really strange. I don't know. Maybe they have something about transfers coming in from the outside. Maybe there's some sort of compliance going on there. They don't want people, transferring large amounts of Bitcoin into Coinbase Pro and then being able to cash out. I don't know. But I mean, why would they allow it on Coinbase regular and not on Coinbase Pro? That's also a little perplexing. I just want to sell about $50. That's really odd, because I think I've done that. I don't know. It's just weird. I kind of have to see what you were trying to do, but I kind of. No, I don't know. I think you can cash out on Coinbase Pro. I thought you could. Let's check out Coinbase Pro real quick. Maybe you were trying to sell when really what you wanted to do was cash out. Maybe. Huh. This is old GDAX. That's weird. All right, so I'm going to need to log into my Coinbase account here. Oh. The one drawback. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. All right, and two-factor. So I don't really have any coins in here, but let's say, you can go up here to my wallets and you can do withdrawals. And I don't know that it's going to let me do this. But let's say that I want to withdraw Bitcoin. Whoops. Sorry. Right, it's going to give me, oh, that's a withdrawal. Oh, I'm thinking of transferring in. Okay. So you had, now I can't get back. Okay. So you had BTC, you had a certain amount of it, and you wanted to sell it, right? And when you tried to sell it, it said you can't sell this Bitcoin. And it said you need to transfer it to Coinbase in order for it to be sold. Which is kind of odd. Yeah. Oh, you're investigating. Gemini might be the easier. I wanted to sell a small amount to make sure I am mentally ready. I think you can sell Bitcoin on Coinbase Pro. I mean, for 0.3 Bitcoin I don't know. I'm not sure what you tried or what stopped you exactly. Sarah Mike, does Coinbase normally take 10 days when buying with checking account to move crypto off Coinbase? My experience with Coinbase withdrawal or cash out was that it was within 24 hours. But that was back in 2017. It may be slower now. I don't know why it would be. Because now when you deposit it from your checking, it could take a while, right? Because we talked about this before. When you fund a transaction or you fund a purchase with your bank account, they want to make sure that the transaction has totally cleared your bank before they're going to allow you access to that Bitcoin. Whether, or for it to show up in your wallet. Because once you have access to the Bitcoin, you can simply withdraw it to your own wallet and then conceivably call your bank and say, cancel that transaction, or stop payment on that transaction. So that's why they make it clear. They wait like 7 to 10 business days but that's a purchase. Now, when you cash out, that with Bitcoin, it's in your wallet, it's your Bitcoin, and then you sell it to them. That's irreversible, right? So I don't see why they wouldn't just. My experience has been they'll tell you it's going to take 3 to 5 days for it to show up in your bank account when you cash out. But then in practice, it was usually within 24 hours when I did it. So, but that was back in 2017. I don't know if they've changed their policy on that or not. But my experience was, I had some Bitcoin. I sold it. I had money in my cash account, and then I said, cash out to my bank, and it was within 24 hours. And that should work with any cryptocurrency that's supported on Coinbase. You could sell your Litecoin for cash and then cash out to your bank account. Gotta go, Scott. It's good to see you again. Sorry I was out for 2 weeks. You can hear the whole sob story if you rewatch. Dinner party in Honolulu. Cool. Yeah, it's still early in Hawaii, right? It's only 7:30 in LA, but it's 10:30 in Michigan. So next week, guys, I'm going to knock it back an hour. I'll rework some of the graphics and come up with a new catchphrase. We're no longer the Q&A in LA. We're something else now. We'll figure it out. Watch some of my videos. I'm going to start doing some more hands-on stuff with like smart home stuff, like Amazon and Hue Lights. We're pretty tech-savvy family. It's a little addictive when you get started. So there are a lot of people out there that might want to dip their toes in the smart home thing, and so I'm putting together some videos on setting up Amazon Echoes and Alexas, Amazon Alexas, and Hue bulbs and lights and rooms and stuff. So check all that out. And I'm also going to be doing a lot more videos on Crypto.com. We didn't talk about them tonight, but we could have used Crypto.com, but usually it takes a couple days for your cash to clear from your bank into Crypto.com. But maybe next week I'll be locked and loaded and have some cash ready. We'll do some transactions from Crypto.com. So thanks again, guys. Sorry I didn't get to every single question. Please join me again. It won't be the live Q&A from LA next week, but there will be a live stream next week. So please join me. And thanks for joining me tonight. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.